This band. I like this band. I wrote it down so I don't forget who they are. Oh, I remember. Fucking Slack! We're back with one of the most brutal scene to ever do it. From one of the most brutal bands you've ever seen as well. They said, hey, boys, hey, male-dominated metal, death metal, that's ours now. And if you don't like it, dare we castrate you? Get out of our way. They've been banging this metal out album after album. It is beautifully brutal. It is heavy. It's intense. I'm trying to be their number one fan. I got the shirt. I got the album. She's out there bashing the drums, bashing people's heads in. We've got Carolina from the wonderful Castrator. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that introduction.
You're welcome. People say I have a lot of energy, and I go, I don't notice it, but they say I've got it. Thank you. I mean, I've got to step it up when I'm bringing some metal royalty here. That's just put out one of the most brutal, heavy albums I've ever heard in my life. Congratulations on the album, and just your name is getting out there everywhere, and you're assassins. You're assassins out there.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to compete with, the boys.
You're out there with the boys, and the boys better get out of their way, because some of the boys, they get very static. They get very one-dimensional. They need some good. I mean, you see this world right now. This world sucks, and it's run by the boys.
Agreed.
Thank you. I'm glad someone agrees with me, because usually people say I'm crazy and want me jailed. But luckily, when I meet a fellow lunatic, we're on the same page.
Yeah. Are we the lunatics?
Thank you for saying that, because I always try and tell people, they look at us metalheads, right, as the outsiders, the misfits, and I'm like, I think we're the normal people. I think we're the normal people because we're the most accepting. We're the most helpful. We stand up against oppression. We stand up against brutality, people trying to hurt each other and keep people out of circles. And I think the normies are the lunatics, and I think the normies are the ones that have ruined the world. Sometimes they ruin the metal scene. Sometimes they don't have that open-mindedness.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not a good thing, right? But to turn it around, what a negative. What am I doing right now? I'm having a rough day today. I gotta be honest. I'm having a rough day. Castrator. I mean, I've got both the albums. I couldn't find the other one on vinyl. I have 8 million vinyls. Luckily, I found this one. I've got my shirt. I was into this band the first song I heard. Where does this creativity come from? Because it's some gruesome, brutal lyrics, but the music it's technical. It's got so many different influences in it. It's just a beautiful thing. How do you find the inspiration to make music like this?
Well, it's a collaboration, and it comes from a lot of anger and just loving death metal in general. Robin and I are the main writers, and
Okay.
she's Florida. I lived in New York for 20 years. I live in Ohio now, but we combined the, New York and Florida influences, and that's what comes out.
No, and you hear it from both death metal sounds. Definitely different distinguishable death metal sounds. And I grew up in Long Island, so with bands like Suffocation and things like that. And I lived in Florida for a little while in the Tampa Bay area. So, you're talking Cannibal Corpse and all those greats as well. So I would go on Long Island to Slip Disc Records. In Florida, I'd be at Aces Records, all these old school places. And speaking of Midwest now, Ohio, I saw Castrator, I believe, is going to be at Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah, we're super stoked.
I'm stoked you're there, because I'm going to be there, and it's all about me 24/7, because Metal Horror Madman is so full of himself. He loves himself. My two favorite people are me and my reflection. I don't know if that makes me stuck up or conceited, but they're my favorite people. I don't know what to do.
I wish I had that.
I was there last year, Milwaukee Metal Fest, and Jasta just goes all out. The venue is crazy. I don't know how he does. The guy is more manic than me. The guy's moving in 5,000 different directions at once. And when I saw Castrator, I'm like, yes, I've been wanting to see you guys so bad. It's been dry. Every time I'm like, I just can't link up at the event. I cannot wait to see you there.
No, we're super stoked. And, Milwaukee Metal Fest is a legendary fest that Jasta brought back. And it's, he's a legend himself. Hatebreed is an awesome band, and it's all around awesome.
It's all around awesome, and you're gonna fit in there so perfectly. The venue is insane. I'm running around there like a man. You'll hear a bald man with a beet red face screaming Slayers for his adoring followers because he feeds them off them. I feed off their energy. I love them, and I get manic and I get insane. But I'm going to be overpowered. I can't. I really. You could see I geek out. They tell me act like I've been there before. I cannot wait. I've been wanting to see you guys so badly, so badly. Like last year, I wanted to see Brat so bad, and like Brat luckily played there, and I was like, this is so sick. And now Castrator is going to be in Milwaukee Metal Fest, and I am so stoked. And I ask this of everybody: do you prefer recording the albums, writing the songs, or playing live? Do you have a preference?
No, I love both. They're both very different experiences. Recording and getting ready for the studio is what I believe makes you a better, more consistent player. And then playing live just gives you that stamina that, that every
Right.
night you go super hard, but they're both necessary. They're both different experiences. I can't choose.
That is You're amazing. That's the best answer I've heard. Everybody that gives me one or the other, and it's like so extreme. I've even had people tell me that like they loved touring, but then and I understand that. Like I can understand touring could get to you a little bit, and then they felt more comfortable in the studio. Or I hear other people go like, "Hey, we argue in the studio," and then like the touring is when we kind of bond. And when you do put something together, how is the flow? Do you all argue? Do you get along? Is there people going, "I want to do this, I want to do that"?
Well, that's always gonna be a part of being in a band, but you have to respect, other people's opinions. And at the end of the day, it's what's best for the song. And, everyone has to compromise.
Right.
That's something that you have to keep in your mind because it's not really arguing, it's just expressing your opinion. And
Yep.
and when you're on tour, yeah, things can get hard because, you barely sleep and you're in a van for 24/7, it can get,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
but part of the experience.
Nothing. I love your positive outlook. I really do, and we need more of that in this scene. And if you were to say the biggest hurdle of touring, is it finding gigs to play? Is it you know get like you said, not arguing, but just keeping that cohesive, everyone getting along, knowing we have a mission. What would be for a new band something you'd say to them like, hey, you got to watch out for this when you start touring?
Well, I think the biggest hurdle is the financial stability because you're risking everything to go on tour, risking that you're gonna be broke or, in debt. And nobody's doing this for the money.
Right.
So that's something that you have to explain to people and, if you're hiring someone or if someone's coming in, like just to make that clear because, we play death metal.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And I think sometimes, like, I'm glad you said that because I'll talk to people sometimes that lose focus of why, and I'm talking content creators, bands, it could be promoters, and they lose focus of why everyone got into this in the first place was have fun, play music, connect with these fans, followers, and they start looking at, like, hey, I didn't get here. I didn't get to
Yeah.
this level. And it's like, hey, you may never get to that level.
Yeah,
That
a lot
just
of
may
people
not be
think
in the cards.
yeah, a lot of people think it's failure, but it's not really failure if you're doing what you love, It's like recognition or no recognition, you're still doing what you love, right?
Right. And then you think of all the you do, you're influencing people. You're showing all these females too, like, hey, you can be female,
That's
full female
that's the
band.
best thing about it. When you get off stage and then there's a little girl saying, I want to be like you, or like, this is the first show I've ever been to, or like, parent and daughter.
Yeah.
That's like the best. That's exactly what we do this for.
Isn't it? Like, I can tell you again, I'm sorry I have to make it about me. I'm Metal Horror Man. I don't know what everybody expects from me, but I get such a rush. And then, you hear those things like, I've heard people go, I never listened to Slayer before till they saw me screaming it out. I've never got into, and all these things, and you're just like, it's just weird to know you have that influence. And I'll tell you, like with the winter, this has been one of the worst winters. This
Oh my
January,
God.
it's so bad, right? And like, I've had a
Terrible.
lot of stuff going on personally, and then the weather just is playing games with me. Where I got to a point where I'm like, I'm not doing anything this year. Like, I'm not going to Milwaukee. I'm not going to Sick New World. I'm not doing anything. I'm done. I'm closing my accounts because it just starts playing mind tricks with me. And then like, I'll go do a live and I'll watch some of the, and I'm like, I can't not do this. Like, I love doing it, and then having people going like, where have you? We've missed you. Like, we need you.
And
You,
at the end of the day, you always bring a smile to people's faces with what you do. Your craziness and your spirit, Anyone that watches your video is gonna laugh, So you bring that
it's
out
true.
of people.
It's true, and I've been don't feed my ego even more. I've I've been, and I'm so sincere, and I'm so like I've said this before on here. Like people don't know, they just think it's that constant energy, like positive. Like, but I have my problems. I'll get the depression, I'll get the mental illness, and it's like I love bringing that smile. I love breaking things. Like I've had so many kids tell me at a show, "You make it okay for us to be loud. Like you make me feel
Yeah,
comfortable. Like I've been so nervous." And I try. I've tried to do nothing but positivity on there. I try and hype people up, and I try and just bring that out. And like just talking to you, it's the same message. Like you've got that same message, and I can connect it with that so much because why bring people down if we could lift them up?
yeah, absolutely.
I did want to ask a
Especially in this
very
ugly world.
it's especially recently with more stuff coming out, right, about things, and it's like it's bothered me tremendously. And if I didn't have Metal Horror Madman as an outlet, like it's hard enough, right, to work, have jobs. I as you said with me, like I really do sometimes feel like I can change the world, and I know I can help people stay positive and see things a certain way, but I can't stop all the atrocities. All I can do is try and bring happiness to people. And I'm sleeping like an hour a day right now because I'm just so like disgusted by everything. Like
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
am so hurt as like humanity's lost its way. And I know I talk about this stuff too much sometimes on here, but it's like I can't accept people are this horrible. Like, and I don't want anyone to ever have to go through that. Like, I want people to know if you're in a situation like you can get out of that situation. If you're being bullied, find someone that can help you not be bullied. Like, see those red flags from things and just like there's bad people out here, you know?
But there's also a lot of good people, and that's what we have to remind each other of. If we dwell in negativity, then that's when you get depressed. So you just gotta remind each other there's still a lot of good, and try to look for that.
That's the attitude to have. And that's what keeps me going. And that's where I'm always like, the worst day I'm having, I'm like, you go make that video. Like, you go make
Yeah.
that video and you let people know we're gonna have fun. And I had this is gonna be a really serious, intense question because I was scrolling through your Instagram page and I saw the Christmas tree, and I saw an alien ornament. I saw
Yeah,
an
hold on,
alien
hold on,
ornament.
hold on,
Yes.
hold on, hold on.
Okay.
I think I have them here. Maybe.
Yes, because I saw Han
Oh, I
Solo. I
don't.
saw an alien.
Oh man, I thought I did, but I
Guys,
forgot
nothing
to.
but the most hard hitting questions here on
Oh yeah.
metalhorrormadman.com.
So, we didn't sell out of them, but we do joke a lot with the, castrator.
Yeah. Oh, that is incredible.
Have
That's amazing.
the ball sacks for sale.
That's guys, who doesn't want a bull sack for sale to
Exactly.
just bring in the Christmas cheer?
We did sell quite a few.
I bet.
Yeah.
Is that available? Can you get that through a website or anything or?
I will have to put them up on the Bandcamp because I haven't been able to do so after the tour. I've been so busy. But
Ah,
yeah, and it's also not Christmas anymore. They have Christmas hats. But yeah, I will put them
that's
up
true.
on.
Put them up so all us lunatics can buy these ball sacks. I'll be proud to own a ball sack. We need to
Yeah.
remind people. And it just exemplifies castrator because sometimes you got to castrate the bad people. You just
Oh yeah.
gotta.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta do it.
It's a strong message, but it's needed. It's necessary.
It's needed, it's necessary. And let's talk about the latest album because that album was necessary. Like it is so heavy. It
Thank
is
you.
it is so good. When you get done with an album, like what's the first are you like, yes, we nailed it? Do you criticize it? I wish I did this, or like what's your reaction when it's done?
Well, it's a different experience with every album, but with Coronation of the Grotesque, I was the main writer and I wrote most of the riffs and the drums and the lyrics, and so it was a very cathartic experience for me. I was able to channel a lot of my energy, and then with the girls, like, we would talk back and forth about yes or no, and then Robin being my partner in this, because the band's just like started with Robin and I, so
Yeah, I get
it's
it.
kind of so it'll be like yes or no, or like, I should be like, oh, that's too long, or we'll compromise. And then it's a very slow process when you work remotely because you have to wait for like everyone to be able to sit down and listen to the
Right.
material.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so then when we had all the songs written, we hired Taylor from Deicide to help us produce the album, like, just
Yep.
put it all together.
Yeah.
And then the album is never done until it's done because all the embellishments, the solos, and all the little things, those are the very last things you put, and those are the things that tie the song together. So nobody is really happy until it's actually released, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's always going to be things that you wish you did differently, you know, but that's just the perfectionist and the artist
It's
in me.
everybody. I have never
Yeah.
heard anybody creating any art say anything different. Every single person
Yeah.
gets critical. I mean, I get critical. Like my videos look so crazy sometimes, but like sometimes I have patterns in them or things I'm saying a certain way. And it's like I'll get so annoyed. And then I have to say, like, or someone will say to me, like, nope. And I'm sure this happens to you. Like, nobody, maybe even if you're playing a live set, you're like, I missed this or that. And nobody notices it but us, right? And then it's
Of
like I'm
course, yeah.
criticizing myself over nothing. But
Oh yeah.
I guess it shows our passion.
Yeah, it's every night, and especially like when you play live and then you go back and watch the video, there's always going to be mistakes, but you have to remind yourself that it's a live show. There is, it's
Right.
not, yeah, it's never
Right.
going to be perfect.
No, but this album is perfect. This album is
Oh, thank
perfect.
you.
I mean
Thank
that
you.
like I loved it. I could not wait for this album to come out. And I mean I loved Defiled in Oblivion too. That was an amazing album. That was a
Thank
great
you.
album. I thought this album just took it one more notch. Like it just took it
Yeah.
to that one next step.
Well, the first album was like, oh, so complicated because we had a different singer and it just took 7 years to be able to release this album because there was all of
Right.
those setbacks. And then this one was, after we finished the tour with Cattle Decapitation,
Yep.
that tour was awesome, and Immolation and Sanguisuga Bug. So we came home knowing, like, after a tour, what the crowd reacts to better,
Right.
what your inside wants to do live, like it just, it's better because we were able to tour
Right.
and play live, and
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah, you
that's awesome.
awaken something in you.
Yeah, and right, the confidence. Like how does that do you feel the confidence just starts building over time the more you do it?
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so. And I tell that to bands too, like newer bands, because like one of the things that broke my heart. This was a couple of years ago, and a newer band I really like, and they kind of talked to me, and they said like, "Well, when this is all over," and I was like, "Nothing's over. Like we're never stopping. We're all doing this into the grave, and then we're coming back. I'm gonna ask someone to dig my zombie body back up, and I'm gonna be screaming Slayers with just a corpse." And I'm going, but it like broke my heart a little because they were like already in their head like it was almost like when we fail, I'm like, you already won. You're already winning by just
Yeah,
doing this.
I hear that a lot. A lot of people are like, "Oh, when are you gonna grow up?" Or like, "It's time for you to give up," or like, get a regular job. And it's like that's not what life is for me. It's like people don't understand this.
Right. And you know what? I look at that like I'll say Metal Heart Madman on Insta and like TikTok is all positive. But like this now YouTube where I'm doing all these interviews and things, and it's been rocky for me to figure out equipment. It's been just a rocky time. But like so I'd be newer on YouTube. So I'll still get to like and you're having a bad day and a comment comes in. Aren't you embarrassed of yourself at your age? Or like, aren't you going to act? Or how cringy to be screaming. It's cringy. Do you know when I walk into a record store screaming Slayer at the top of my lungs, like you said earlier, everybody starts laughing. I break down the whole room. Everybody's having a great time. And I think the people that try and put us down, I just think a lot of it is that, and you know what? I'm one of these people. I'm at this stage in my life where I'm like, I'm 48 years old. I've seen it all. I've done it all. I am going to say, I don't even hate these people. They are just
No,
coming from this jealous aspect of they wish they could do that and have that confidence. Because
they're
for
the ones
you,
that are miserable.
they're miserable. And instead of being miserable, it's like, come join us. Come join us. Start a band. Start an
Yeah.
account. I have no fear anymore. I mean, when I started doing my stuff out in public, it's intense, right? I'm screaming and I have all the followers like building me up, but then out of the corner of your eyes, you see that person that
Yeah.
doesn't know, right? And they're just, yeah,
Yeah.
and they're doing that. And I used to focus on that. And I've learned, I want to ask you that. How do you deal with any of that criticism? If there is, there should be no criticism for
Oh, there's
Castrator.
so much criticism. I mean, I've had so many haters, but I never care about them because I'm doing my own journey, right? And if I
Right.
share something online or whatever, even if it's not perfect, if I can inspire one person, then I've done my job, you know. And that's usually the case. Like, I don't care about the haters. You can hate me all you want.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And I've said that. It's so weird you just said that. I've said that so many times to people. Just one. If
Yeah.
you get on stage and play in front of 8 people and never play again, but there's that one person that's gonna there's always that one person that's gonna go like you blew me away. You did it. Like you inspired someone. I always just tell people to just never ever quit. Never quit. As long as you're enjoying it and as long as you keep that, how do you keep that focus to where you're just like, I know we touched upon this a little earlier, but where it's like it's a business, we're doing X, Y, and Z, but how do you always keep it in check and you go, I'm having fun? And that's what this is all about.
It's hard, especially like if I'm doing a lot of work and then, don't have time to have fun.
Right.
As long as I get to play my drums, I'm happy. As long as I
Right.
get to sit down and play a show, the rest is just noise.
Good. Good. And what's the as far as playing drums, what would you say to somebody that's thinking of starting it? They haven't yet, but they're gonna go buy a kit. What's gonna be the most difficult thing as far as learning to play drums?
You just have to take it one day at a time and don't be frustrated if you can't find the coordination. Just if something is not working out, you just gotta, maybe start over or try something different, but don't give up, you know?
That
Like I
you
tried to play guitar for a long time and like I was approaching it from a very, very difficult angle where I would
right.
get frustrated and then put it down and not pick it up again. And then
Yeah.
I changed my approach and I now I play guitar every day and I've gotten so much better. But just, to try a different approach.
I needed to hear that too because I'm so manic. Like I traded for guitar in I think late December, early January. What I am learning though, what I used to do is my problem is I would do everything at once, and I would learn that's like instant fit. Like I would try and conquer everything at once. So I have it
No,
sitting
baby
there.
steps, baby steps. Like for example, for me, I have this routine that every day I sit down with my metronome and I practice for at least 10 minutes scales,
Oh
right?
wow, yeah,
So that and you think that's nothing, but in a week, like you're flying. It's like things
right.
that you baby steps.
That's again, this is what everybody needs to hear, myself included. And it's like baby steps. Make sure your timing is right, like because you're gonna fail when you throw everything out there. And when we were talking about even with the touring, and you're out there touring, how do you if you're offered something, how do you know it's the right thing to do? Is it like do you jump at it right away? Do you go like, wait, let's look at this, where we're gonna go, who we're gonna tour with?
Well, there's a lot of moving pieces, and like, you have to first of all make sure that everybody's available, because everyone has
Right.
lives, jobs, and we've actually had to turn down good offers because we couldn't do it. So
Oh
that's just
wow.
always a bummer. Like, not everyone's willing to risk it all for just one tour. So it's like,
Right.
especially like now that we have the new album, we've gotten a few good offers, and that we're working on it, and you're like we can just like again we can only take it one thing at a time,
Yeah.
and if we're available we'll be there, and it's not so
Right.
much about the money. Like
Right.
this tour we just finished, that was a headlining tour, and that was a huge risk, but for that we didn't get offered like other things, so we're like we got to do it, so
Right.
just went for it, and it was great.
See?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like you like you're saying you got to be strategic, but you have to take risks at some point. Like if you just got to at least try.
All the huge risks. The risks are just like, li your life. Like we're like
Yeah.
I was driving and playing every day and
Right.
barely sleeping,
Yep.
and like that's like almost like, putting your and other people's lives at risk because, like rest is important.
It's so how do you handle also it's so important. You're talking to the guy that just doesn't know how to rest and has to calm himself down all the time. How do you like after the tour, you're coming off the tour. It's a success. You're excited. Everything went great. Now you've got to come back to the real world, right? Now it's real world time, real world problems. How do you handle that psychologically?
Um, it's important to have a good support system. You know, it's like I'm lucky my boyfriend supports me in every way, and
Yep.
that I was able to like leave my job behind and not have to worry about it when I come home. But for other people, that's not the case. Like, you know, if you have a child, you know, it's just very
Right.
different for everybody. But tour is definitely very different from regular life. So it's like it's
Right.
yeah, it's a hard reality check, but it's so worth it because not everyone, it's such a privilege. Not everyone gets to experience that.
It's such a privilege. And I learned last year when I went out and I've now learned how to come down better. I got manic and I rode that high and I kind of tried to keep that in the real world. And then I started partying too much. And then like the crash was
Yeah,
horrendous.
that's yeah, that's just something that you learn the hard way, partying and all that. It's just like that's not the real world. You gotta pace yourself. We actually lose a lot of people to extremes like that, you know? Like
Right.
they don't know how to handle themselves, so it's like they can't do it again because they don't know how to handle the
True.
tour.
True. And when you're out touring, do you have a favorite venue you've ever played?
Oh my God. I want to say it doesn't exist any longer, but I don't remember the name, and it was in Dallas. It was an outdoor venue. It was so sick. I just don't remember the name. It was something like maybe it was Brass Monkey. Yeah, maybe it was Brass Monkey. But it was just so sick because it was like right next to the water and it was
Oh,
outdoors and but there's supposed to be
yeah.
like an indoor venue. It was super sick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And then follow up real quick. Do you have a favorite artist you've seen at a favorite venue? Like when you talked about outdoors, I'm a massive Alice Cooper fan. So I got to see Alice Cooper outdoors in Boston, like on a waterfront venue. And it was just like, it's like full moon was out. It was like everything my little childhood Halloween heart could
Oh,
aspire to see.
forget it.
Right. And
Yeah.
it was like so crazy. Have you had one where you're just like, oh, that sticks with me?
I've had many,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I got to see Judas Priest and Scorpions in Mexico.
Oh,
Like it was like perfect weather. It was just amazing, and like I was surrounded by really good friends, and also, you know, D-side at Maryland Death Fest. I was like side stage watching my hero play drums. It's just so many.
amazing.
There's just yeah.
So many, and you've created so many, and you're going to be out there, Milwaukee Metal Fest. I can't wait. I'm actually, when we cross paths, we got to get a video of me going fucking slap, just to make the universe correct.
Fuck
And we're gonna
yeah.
have a holly jolly good time. And it's been a pleasure talk. I have had your energy, if you could tell. I was having like such a rough day with work and all these other things. Your energy gave me so much positivity, so many great vibes. I'm
Oh,
so glad to see this
oh,
is how you are. Amazing album of the year. Such a great album. Perfect album.
thank
I've
you.
listened to it 5,000 times. Can you let everyone please know where to follow you, where to follow the band, and any upcoming tours or anything you want? I mean, clearly we know we're Milwaukee. Have I talked about it enough?
Yes, so you can find us on Instagram, Facebook. We also have our website, which is castratorband.me. The Bandcamp is where we have all our merch for sale. I'm gonna update it at the end of this, hopefully by Bandcamp Friday. And then we have a tour coming up with Obituary in March.
That's right.
It's gonna be like seven shows, which we're super stoked about. And then we're playing Milwaukee Metal Fest, and then we announced Beach Fest in Salt Lake City. We're headlining that fest.
I saw that.
And
That's sick.
yeah, and after that we have in September we have our Armageddon Fest in I think it's Brooklyn, which is
Nice.
which is awesome because the promoter that does that fest was the very first promoter that ever booked a show for us, which is Ed Farsty. So it's like a
Oh, that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's weird how the world works like that.
Yeah.
It's weird how the world works. It's like last thing I'll say with shut up, madman, is when I went to Milwaukee last year, it was like this band 656, who's local to Massachusetts and Connecticut. Great band, great kids. And they were like, Madman, do you want to announce us on stage at Milwaukee? And like, this was like newer. Now I've done it like a bunch of times, but like, I had, it was so crazy. I got up there and you know my energy, and I'm up there like, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, insanity. And that's why I mentioned Milwaukee so much, because like from that moment to the end of that, it was like the time of my life there, and just the amount of different bands and experiences and people and venues. And
That's awesome.
it's so awesome. And now another one on my bucket list is going to be seeing Castrator, and it's going to just be a sick, crazy time. I'll be right up front screaming. You'll throw a drumstick at me and go, "Shut up, man! We're
I
playing our
never.
songs."
I never. Bring it on.
Bring it on. You know intensity. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by. Can't wait to see you out in the wild. Keep bringing that positivity. Keep bringing that great music. Keep putting those boys in check. And everybody, go buy those balls. Let's get a bunch of picture with those balls as much as we can on Instagram. I think that's a good thing.
You got it.
Thanks again. It's been awesome to see you.